Good morning. My name is Isidore Onyako. This is a video in response to the recent arrest and release of Nnamdi Kanu by the Nigerian security operatives. My friends have been discussing this with me, and they have been asking for my views and kind of requesting that I make I provide my insights regarding what is going on. And it has also become imperative, after we are seeing our mothers and our women on the streets, demonstrating on this particular issue. We all know that Nnamdi Kanu has been released, but at the same time, this is the time for us to, call the attention of Nigerians and Igbo people all over the world regarding what is going on, and also to make our fellow Nigerians understand our views regarding this issue. In 1993, MKO Abiola won an election, but he was not sworn in. OPC, Old People's Congress, made life unbearable for Nigerians during that period in the Southwest. Now, I remember I was in Lagos then, and that was the first time when I landed in Lagos, and I saw violence for the first time. Obasanjo was released from prison to be voted into power as president of Nigeria in May 1999. Under him, the massacre of November 20, 1999 happened. This does not in any way stop the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, led by Asare Dokubo and Dopolo, from making life unbearable for Nigerians in the South. The Ijaw Youth Council, which was formed in 1998, and Asare and his friends, including Dampolo, used the platform of environmental activism to make their voices to be heard. I was in Port Harcourt and witnessed a meeting by Ikwere youth by coincidence, and was inspired by their drive. They all claimed to be fed up with the treatment of Nigerian government of the Ijaw and Ogoni youths and Ogoni people. I also spent time visiting Niger Delta a few years back to see the environmental devastation and carnage that actually occurred as a result of the exploitation of the South. Nigerian government eventually appeased the South by bringing Goodluck Jonathan into power as vice president, given that he happened to be the leader we knew then. He became president after an elder statesman, Yar'Adua, died. There was so much unspeakable atrocities committed by Yar'Adua's government when he was in the hospital. When he died, Goodluck Jonathan took over and became president for the next 5 years. Even as there is a correlation between the degree of unrest, violence and anarchy a group in Nigeria projects and the probability that a president will emanate from there, Goodluck Jonathan made it clear that his presidency is not worth more than the blood of a single Nigerian. However, this correlation manifested again with Boko Haram. As Boko Haram rose in notoriety, a northerner has become president of Nigeria. I can state categorically that as a Muslim, there are some values Boko Haram holds, that Boko Haram opposes, that President Buhari has no issues with. However, one thing I know for sure is that Buhari understands democracy. He understands he is more powerful as a democratically elected president than a military dictator. I have listened to several interviews involving him and some genuine and biased journalists. I must say he understands the issues facing him. He explained this, having explained this surprising correlation. Do not forget, the correlation is that OPC, became violent, erupted, made life unbearable. Obasanjo became a president. Niger Delta Volunteer Force made life unbearable with Dampolo and Asare Dokubo. Goodluck Jonathan became president. Now Boko Haram from the north made life unbearable, and eventually Buhari became president. So, if you cannot see this correlation, then that means that you have not been a careful observer. Having explained this surprising correlation, it is time we talk about Biafra. People have been asking me if I have nothing to say about Nnamdi Kanu's arrest. If anyone needs to know about Biafra, listen to the soldiers. I spent time watching videos of Biafra genocide and heard the then Sadano of Sokoto on YouTube. He commented about something that is true about our people, but he drew a very negative, divisive and violent conclusion. He said we Igbos are very industrious and hardworking. He said we come into any organization and within a short time we want to become the boss. While this is partially true, it should only speak to our ambition. hard work, dedication, and resilience. There is no law that says an individual should not aspire to be better in anything the individual ventures into. It is always better wisdom to find out about yourself from outsider's viewpoint. I spoke to some Niger Delta friends, and they said they were deceived into believing that we were not their brothers. It is kind of hard to pay attention to those kind of rhetorics, especially now that Niger Delta activists are calling to join us to actualize Biafra again. The problem with the above is that they all reek of exploitation. That baffles me. What baffles me is how these people often feel comfortable to use us to their own advantage. So let's get back to Nnamdi Kanu. Personally, I get a weird feeling listening to him. Majority of what he says about the need for Biafra to be free is true. The problem is that he keeps forgetting we lost a war. I look at Middle East today and the war going on there, and I say it is not worth it. A wounded Biafran soldier drew tears of pride from my eyes in Toronto on Biafra Memorial Day last year when he talked about our exploits during the war. In fact, I saw pride in him. We all hugged him and we are moved. Even as I talk about it now, I can feel the emotion, embedded in his speech. That was the speech that gave me peace and pride when it comes to Biafra. We were the most organized and sophisticated force the world ever saw then. We always heard about Ogbunigwe, but people always heard about Ogbunigwe and the great Ojukwu. The way our battalions defended Umuahia, Enugu, and Abagana still baffles the enemy to today. As Nigerian government arrested and released Nnamdi Kanu on bail, it becomes imperative that democracy has come to Nigeria. After all, Nnamdi Kanu did not blow up any church. Nnamdi Kanu did not decapitate any Nigerian. Nnamdi Kanu did not rape 200 girls in Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu did not blow up any mosque. Nnamdi Kanu did not blow up any village. Nnamdi Kanu did not kill our soldiers. So it's kind of hard to understand what anyone could say that Nnamdi Kanu did to Nigerians, that will make the Nigerian government want to arrest him. Now we know that they've arrested him. That is fine. Let justice be done, and let it be known that we are watching. Now, getting back to the issue at hand, we have our own problems that we need to deal with. I don't believe that majority of Igbos call Nigeria a zoo. I also know for sure that some Nigerians call Nigeria a zoo. I do not believe that we are being treated fairly in Nigeria. I made a video before regarding the fact that President Buhari is the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, meaning that he has the right to hire and fire whoever he deems competent. In that video, I also reiterated that it's only General Buhari who decides, what resume and what characteristics are needed in the people that he considered or he deems competent. So this goes back to all we've been talking about. We Igbos are always being marginalized, but I do not believe that our problem will be solved by us, going and, insulting the Nigerian government, threatening secession. I believe that we have our own problems today internally. Our problem is with our leaders. I strongly believe that we need to come together first. We need to come together first, and we start by electing the right leaders. We start by ensuring that our democracy is standard, and we have our own definition of democracy that has our own cultural component to it. We should not be electing people who do not have our own interests at heart. Yes, Nigeria federal character is important, but at the same time, charity begins at home. We should not be electing leaders who always sell us out at the slightest provocation or excitement. We understand that there is a lot of eyes watching Nigeria. We understand there is a lot in Nigeria that we all have fought for, and I don't believe that it's sensible, for us to give up everything we've rooted for. But at the same time, I don't believe it's sensible, for the Nigerian government to keep ignoring, the skills, the competence, the qualifications, the background, and the integrity of Nigerians, of Igbo people who are in Nigeria and who are also willing to work for Nigeria. I don't believe that the Nigerian government should keep ignoring this and keep making political appointments that speak to the fact that they don't care about Igbo people. So when you do this, you need to be reminding, when Nigerian government need to be reminding themselves that there is over 60 million Daniel Kano all over the world who has better technologies, who has better mindsets, who has better messages, who has better voices, to project the cause of Igbo people. Whether it is done through Biafra or it is done through a radio, it doesn't change anything. The fact is that you cannot keep suppressing a people for too long and expect them to keep quiet. And when you do that, there is an economic hit on Nigeria, because the major brain drain Nigeria is suffering today is coming from Igbo land. When we believe that Nigeria is not looking up to us, we only have a finite length of time to spend on this world, and we need to account for it. Leaving Nigeria, our people are going to Malaysia, our people are going to Singapore, our people are coming to Canada, our people are going to South Africa. There is something happening there. It means that these people do not feel that Nigeria is their country. So the fact that Daniel Kano spoke out, should be a message to the Nigerian government to act, to fix all these injustices, to carry Igbo youths along, and for them to also understand that, we will not tell Nnamdi Kanu, to stop his message, but because we understand where the sentiment is coming from. We may use different means to achieve the same purpose, but at the same time, we want to make sure that you get the message. The message should be more important than the arrest or whatever you do. And another message we are sending to Nigerian government today is that we Igbo youth believe that if there is supposed to be a Nigeria that everybody would fight for, Boko Haram should not exist. We do not believe that this insult called Boko Haram should continue, because it is still a way of propagating this correlation I see. People rise up, get violent, disturb people, burn churches, then they are giving presidency. That needs to stop. I am charging President Buhari today. I respect you, I appreciate your wisdom, and I know for sure that Nigerians voted you in, not Boko Haram, not the North, contrary to what anybody is telling you. And you also need to understand that if you are thinking about the future, there is no future of Nigeria without Igbo people. It's a no-brainer, and you know that. I will implore you, to do everything you can, to protect Daniel Kano. If anything, sit down with Daniel Kano and make him believe in that Nigeria that you yourself, promised everybody. Thank you.